Oil and gold prices rise today, and the outlook for Saudi and Kuwait banks is positive. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm RamiaFarrage. Oil prices rose today following Russia's warning that markets would face potential record prices if more countries ban its energy. Brent crude rose above $112 a barrel by 10:30 a.m. Gulf Standard Time, while West Texas reached over $107 a barrel. Russia warned on Friday that the world will face potential record prices if more countries boycott its oil and gas. Meanwhile, gold prices rose to their highest level since mid-March today as the uncertainty surrounding the Ukraine war dampened risk sentiment and drove investors towards the safety of bullion. Spot gold was up 0.8% at over $1,989 per ounce as of 11 a.m. Gulf Standard Time, hitting its highest since March 11th. U.S. gold futures were up 0.9% at over $1,993. Analysts say there's risk aversion in the market. Bullion is considered a safe haven in times of political and economic crisis. Risk to the stability of Saudi Arabia's banking system will stay contained, despite prospects of quick growth over the next 1 to 2 years. That's according to S&P, who say although the banking sector is seeing rapid expansion, the accumulation of imbalances should remain under control. This is because the rise in real estate prices is low in real terms, property demand is almost local, and most mortgage loans are backed by salary assignments. Meanwhile, S&P forecasts the operating environment for Kuwait's banks will improve in 2022 on the back of higher oil prices, continued pandemic recovery, and higher interest rates. Across the Kuwaiti banking sector, non-performing loans were low entering the pandemic in 2020. However, some constraints persist. The Kuwaiti government's fiscal funding strategy remains uncertain. Also, the government's key liquidity buffer, the General Reserve Fund, has diminished substantially. And high exposure to real estate and construction, comprising almost 30% of banks' lending, continues to be a key risk. China's economic growth accelerated in Q1 this year to 4.8%, but the government warns that significant challenges remain as COVID-19 lockdowns start to bite. The world's second biggest economy lost steam in the latter half of last year, with a property slump and regulatory crackdowns pulling down growth. But it exceeded expectations in Q1, with Lunar New Year spending and factory production spurring growth. Still, the outlook isn't positive, with strict COVID lockdowns clogging supply chains and locking down tens of millions of people in economic capitals. Manufacturers, including Tesla, began preps today to reopen their Shanghai factories as the city accelerated efforts to end its COVID lockdown. It's forced most businesses in China's economic hub to shut for nearly 3 weeks. Tesla has reportedly recalled workers to its factory to prepare for the restart. SAIC Motor, the Chinese partner of Volkswagen and General Motors, said it would start stress testing its production resumption plans today. Shanghai aims to stop the spread of COVID-19 outside of quarantined areas by Wednesday. Let's take a look now at today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking. It tracks the daily ups and downs of the world's richest people. Today we focus on Eastern markets as much of the West is still closed, where our biggest winner today is retail king Tadashi Yanai and family, up $1.7 billion with net wealth of $26.2 billion. Our second biggest winner today is solar power billionaire Jin Baofeng, up $1.3 billion with net wealth of $10.6 billion. And our third place winner is bottled water mogul Zhong Shanshan, up $1.2 billion with net wealth of $72.6 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest billionaires news. Divers who inspected the hull of a tanker loaded with 750 tons of fuel that sank off southeast Tunisia have detected no leaks. The Equatorial Guinea-flagged Zilo, which sank Saturday, has settled on its side at a depth of almost 20 meters. The Zilo was traveling from Egypt to Malta when it went down. The crew issued a distress call on Friday night during bad weather. Tunisian authorities rescued the 7-member crew. I'm RamiaFarrage. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.